And thanks for tuning in to the Sean Inspires podcast. I am Sean Allen, your transformation life coach and podcast host. We are closing out the Fathers, Kings, and Leaders series. Today is a special segment here. I have my cousin who is here in New Orleans, and he goes by the name in the industry of Sess 45. But I'm just going to go ahead and read his bio and welcome him into the show, and then I'll let him come in his own way and introduce himself to you, the listening audience. Hailing from New Orleans, we have the infamous night war. Sess 45 is a New Orleans original through and through. It is evident from the first time you meet him that the city has had a huge impact on his image. Raised in the Desire Project, Sess is the epitome of an artist who gives back to his neighborhood. His lyrics speak of the reality of life in New Orleans and paints a vivid picture of his fans while laced over beats created by some of the region's most prolific producers. As proof of the respect he garners from his peers, Sess 45 was given an Unsung Hero Award by hip-hop icon Davey D after giving a most eloquent interview discussing politics and hurricane recovery following Hurricane Katrina. That interview showcased the insight Sess 45 has had on the world around him, which speaks volumes about why he is looked to upon by the masses. Growing up, Sess 45 was influenced by his parents, as well as the people in his community. Tupac Shakur, E40, Mystical, LOG, Soulja Slim, and Tim Smoot influenced him musically. His love for the city of New Orleans is evident in everything he does, whether that's working with the Black Love Summer Camp or the annual Katrina March and Second Line, or grinding tirelessly to push his label Nothing But Fire Records to the top of the charts. He is also the owner of Nothing But Fire Record Store, the first music store to open in Metro New Orleans following Hurricane Katrina, where he can be found making sales, dropping knowledge on his customers, or promoting his Hustle God clothing line. Sess 45 has worked with other legendary New Orleans artists such as Partners in Crime, LOG, Mia X, Soulja Slim, Turk, Mr. Magic, Fifth Wall Weebie, Miss T, Fian, and quite a few others. In addition, he is one of the most sought-after solo acts in the city when it comes to features and videos cameos. Sess 45 plans include working tirelessly until Nothing But Fire Records becomes a household name, and given his current show schedule, he is well on his way to doing just that. Sess 45 also plans to branch out into other avenues of entertainment, including fine-honing his acting skills. There is absolutely no doubt that Sess 45 is moving to the top of the entertainment ladder and bringing his Nothing But Fire Records with him. The sky is the limit for a multifaceted artist such as Sess 45. He brings a lethal combination of musical talent, intelligence, and charm, qualities that are certain to ensure placement among the brightest of the stars and kill the game. That is certainly an impressive bio, and you have done so many things in such a short time. So welcome to the Sean Inspires podcast show. If you could introduce yourself in your own way, I'm so glad to have you on.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm Sess 45, a New Orleans native. I'm glad to be here with Sean Inspires, who is also my cousin. So it's a whole different love that I have and a whole different appreciation that I have for doing this interview. And just hearing, the bio is real inspiring to me, just hearing all of that stuff, because, I don't hear like all of the different things that I do, too often, the things that I've done. So just hearing that, coming from you, and as, this show, this podcast intros is like, a culminating like event for me right now.
Well, amazing. You're doing some great and amazing things. And we are now in the series of Fathers, Kings, and Leaders. And you are a father. And so I just want to kind of walk through your journey. I want to walk through your journey being a father, moving into entrepreneurship, coming back to New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. If you could share with the listening audience a little bit about that journey, how you became first interested and passionate about music and working in the area of music.
I think just being a kid, going to middle school, elementary school, and then, high school. So writing poetry, that's what got me my start in music. I used to write poems in the third grade, fourth grade, they got published. And then I went to middle school, and then I wrote some more poems, and those got published. I went to high school, and some of my friends, they was rapping before the summer break, and one of the guys uh, made a song, and it got on the radio here in New Orleans on Q93 during the summer. And he didn't have any gold. We wear the gold teeth down here, so he didn't have any gold teeth before the school let out for the summer. He came back. He had gold teeth, animal ballads, song playing on the radio. So I was able to see a tangible person that I knew, before, rapping and music, become an artist that everybody loved his music. So I knew it was tangible. So it just made me like dive in it, a whole lot more. And just, being in New Orleans and being in poverty growing up, a lot of those things that I saw, the racial profiling, from the police and things going on economically, the hardships, the drugs, the lack of just positive things in the community. We just wrote about these things in the music. And, when I start releasing music, people like the music. They like me representing our neighborhood, our city. And, the love affair with music started from there.
So if I'm hearing correctly, it's your passion for poetry, which was your introduction into music. If you could share, who is your favorite poet today? Who would you say your favorite poet that has inspired you personally along your journey?
Yeah, so honestly, I didn't have a passion in, elementary or middle school. It was just homework assignments, So, we would be doing work in class, and the teachers would be talking about similes and like and as and different metaphors and stuff like that, and we would have to create these poems. So it was actually assignments that got me into poetry. And fortunately, I like the rhyming. So like rhyming these words together and making stories and limericks and stuff like that. So I guess I kind of fell in love with it, but it was actually, just like I said, homework assignments and schoolwork that got me started and engaged in it. But also, when we took it to the next level, and I started getting deeper into the music, and then hearing different poets. So I actually like Sonny Patterson, who is also a New Orleans legend and poet. And I love Maya Angelou as well. She has some great poetry. And there's a few others, but I'll stick to those two females that just love their poetry.
So would you say that music is your first love?
I would probably say my mother, my family. Like, I'm a big family guy, so my family is actually my first love. Like, you being my cousin, we growed up 3-4 families in one household. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my mama got a room with her kids. My auntie got a room with their kids. My other auntie got a room. My grandma got a room. Like, we all, came up in the same house. My grandmother lived in the same project housing development, we lived in. And so, being able to grow up with your friends and your cousins, which is a different time from the day. Some of us, we don't even have the same relationship with our cousins, and how we knew each other when we grew up, and slept in the same house, slept in the same beds, and every weekend you get to play with these cousins and siblings and stuff like that. So we came up in a different era. So before the music, I would actually say family was my first love, but I probably would definitely say music would come in second place.
Absolutely. And we had a very, very adventurous childhood growing
Yes.
up here in New Orleans. And there was very present, the presence of love. There was always love involved. And of course, there was always good food because we from NOLA. So you are a dad now. And what
Yes.
was that new lifestyle and role like for you, apart from your love and passion for music, stepping into that father role, being married and having kids? What was that king hat like for you being a dad?
So, first of all, I want to say I'm a father of three and a husband. My wife, her name is Renata Warren. So we met in 1998, and we've been together ever since. And we had our first child in 2000. So my daughter was born in 2000. So this year, 2022, she makes 22. So every year she is the year. She makes her birthday the same date as the year. So when we first had her, it definitely changed my life because I was a young kid. Who still had, one foot in music and one foot in, the drug life, the street life. And it just made me make a decision, about our future. And so not just living for myself. So even though I was dating her mother, you know, uh, I wasn't like 100% just living for us as a couple. I still was just, living for myself and, the rest of my family, but, just risking it all or whatever. But when I brought this life into the world, it made me really think about our future as a family. And I just had to make some adult decisions and just grow up. And when we brought that life into the world, it was a beautiful feeling. I had something that I created and that I just, love. And then, we had our second child, which was my son. Uh, so I had a boy and a girl, and my son was born in 2003. And then I had another son in 2009. And, we just got a beautiful family. It just, made me be a different person. And I also want to just share because of like my childhood, right? So my mother, like I knew my father, he was in and out of our lives, but my mom was more like a single parent. And so the lifestyle from my father made me want to be different, with my kids. So it made me make sure, like I wanted all of my kids from the same woman. I wanted to make sure uh, that they woke up and went to sleep with me every night. You know what I'm saying? And right now I got two kids in college. My daughter, she's 21. She'll be 22 next month. My son is 18. He'll be 19 next month. They both of their birthdays in July, and they both in college. And I got a son that's going to high school next semester. And like I said, I just wanted to give them what I didn't have, and that was a father and a mother that woke up with them, every day, guided them and taught them how to be successful human beings. And I think I'm doing a great job of that, and also being a great, uncle and cousin to my nieces and nephews and cousins, and just inspiration to my family members and my community. And so I just pray that God keep working with me and working on me, and keep doing my best.
And it's very evident you mentioned God, and it's good to hear that you have that strong spiritual anchor and component, which helps you navigate and be that leader and be that king in your present community. What would you say if your kids were to do an interview and you not be around? What would you say is one of the things that they would all say about you from the time that you have raised them up until now?
I definitely know my kids would say my dad loved us. Uh, they would say that I taught them to be leaders, exceptional leaders. I made sure that they saw my leadership. And, we always have conversations about just where I'm at as a human being, a businessman, an entrepreneur, a leader. Also, I show them after I showed them lessons like after I do them. So, everywhere I go, every room I walk into, I command, attention, and my leadership just stands out. I delegate a lot of things. I have, a huge staff. And, I just teach them, like I said, how to be leaders, how to be good people. I teach them how to love each other, love your family members, and put family first. And, I just think they would say I help them, put them on a track to be a successful human being in life.
It's absolutely phenomenal. And for the father that is out there that's listening, I'm sure there's some young dads that will tune in to this interview. And you mentioned being a father young, and you mentioned having a shift in lifestyle and really coming into that place of knowing and understanding that I have to do some things differently because now I'm building a family, I'm building a legacy. For that gentleman or the guys that are all listening, the dads out there who are kind of nervous about shifting and making some adjustments in behavioral things that they may not be so proud of, what would be one piece of advice that you could share with them that will spark that transformation?
First off, I would say to, any young fathers, just, take your time and be appreciative of the mother, really take care of the child and, look out for the child's future. But, just be confident in yourself, be confident in your decisions that you make, live with those decisions, stand on those decisions. But, at some point, if you're not there yet, you have to grow up and, become a man. And I just want to share this with you, Sean, and also the listening audience. Like, I didn't become, a man until I was in, like my late 20s. So I had a child at 20 years old, and or maybe 22. But so I didn't, I'm living life and I'm still messing with other, women while I'm dating, my child's mother. And I'm thinking I'm a man because, like I'm in the streets and I'm getting money and, I got my own house, car and that kind of stuff. But I wasn't grown. I didn't grow. I didn't develop into manhood. And so it took me a while to realize what was important. And so I think for all of these young guys, we think from society what, makes you a man, like having a lot of women and, having possessions and stuff like that. Like those are not necessarily things that define you as being a man. And I it just took a while. Like it took me, like I said, in my late 20s to realize what being a man was. And it just was, one day I just bumped my head and just woke up and like, hold on, man, I'm not acting like a man. You know what I'm saying? Like the actions that I'm doing are some little boy stuff. And, it took time, it took growth. And I just want people to be able to know that is a development, is a mental space that you have to be in to really understand life and to get that passage of manhood. And because like in the Black community with fathers and nephews and sons, we don't have a clear, passage of manhood. Like no one passed that down. Like when I was young, my uncles, my aunts, my mama, all of the people was like, he gonna be a player. You know what I'm saying? Like they told us because we was handsome, like, hey, he gonna be a heartbreaker. You know what I'm saying? And,
right. Right.
They fed all of those things into us. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I saw. I saw my dad and my uncles be players. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, even our parents and aunts, expected us and kind of told us to be players. You know what I'm saying? And we lived that life, and there was no clear, passage of manhood. So I'm just out here searching and living life and thinking I'm a man, and I'm not, until, like I said, I just had the epiphany and realized, nah, you're a little boy. You're a little boy. And
Absolutely.
you're gonna become a man. There are certain things you have to be disciplined about and adjust your lifestyle.
Absolutely. So, guys, you're out there listening. So, remember that. And I hope you're taking notes and re record this interview and apply it. Today, we're having Sess 4-5 on because he is someone that has walked a very purposeful path, and his vulnerability is one that we need to see today. So, having you on the show and sharing with us, it's an actual pivotal time, especially with all that is happening in the world with our Black young men, with fathers, with leaders. And so I want to dive into your entrepreneurial endeavor. You named your record store Nothing But Fire Records. What was the inspiration behind that name?
Well, I was on a record label called Untouchable Records when I first started in 1998, and the label kind of folded from some different downfalls that they had. And I said, I'm not going to put myself in that position again. I want to be in control of my destiny. And so Nothing But Fire was actually the first lyrics, the first phrase I ever said on a CD. Actually, it was a tape, in '98. Well, it was tapes and CDs. And so that was my motto. Like, everything that we dropped, everything we released, I wanted to be nothing but fire. And so I just took that and applied that to my mental. So when I'm going in the studio, I'm going in the booth, I'm going in these spaces where we're gonna record, we're gonna perform. I won't give y'all what I feel is nothing but fire. And then of course, when we opened up the store, we just named it after our label, and opened up the first record store after Katrina, Nothing But Fire Records.
I love that. And you're a community activist. Your bio mentioned being a part of the community and doing amazing things. You have done so much at such a young age. What has been the highest joy that you have experienced about all of the success? And still, you have remained so humble, right? There's not many people that can attain such levels of success at such a young age and remain humble. What has been one of your highest joys about all of the things you've been able to accomplish?
I think one of the highest joys that I have is being able to utilize all of my relationships, all of my connections from years and years and years, and bring, the aid to our community. So I do a ton of things in the city. Next weekend, I have a youth day, a community youth day that we doing for all the kids. Just a fun day in the park, and we doing it monthly. I used to have a summer camp. Me and Wild Wayne, we had it for probably about 10 years, but we haven't done it in the past 3 years because of the pandemic. And, just the Katrina anniversary, I'm on 17 years of that. The Katrina hurricane happened in 2005. In 2006, I launched the first Katrina Marching Second Line. In August 29th of this year will be the 17th annual. So I've done that 16 years in a row, and this year makes 17 years. I opened up my business, Nothing But Fire Records, as the store in 2007, and I've been there for 15 years. Right now, I'm in my business called the 40. It's the 40 nightclub. I've been here 2 years. And I also have a restaurant inside of here called Kitchen Dolores, named after one of my grandmothers. But we just gave away over $90,000 to the citizens, of this region, after Hurricane Ida. And that was because of my relationships. I just was with a Black organization called Tandem Ed, and we launched a program called Own Your Story in New Orleans. You heard me, where we galvanized some young leadership, and we made some headway in this city. But we gave away $25,000 grants, totaling $100,000, and so my relationships, from being, who I am, like no holds barred. Like, I'm not a perfect guy. I don't, proclaim to be a perfect guy. I'm a guy from the projects who feel passionate about our people, and I just go around the world being reputable, being credible, building relationships, standing on those relationships, doing good business. I have the same cell phone number from the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? I pay my bills, I pay my debts, and, all of those relationships, I'm able to give back to my people when times get hard. You know what I'm saying? And, not just the people of New Orleans. So we doing it regionally, like we giving, money and donations to other parishes and other, cities and stuff like that. And, I'm going to continue to bring those resources, to my community and the, surrounding communities. And so that's one of the biggest things that bring me joy, is being able to know, from the life that I'm living and that I live, I was able to build some strong foundations and strong relationships with different people, that they chose me, and God chose me to be the vessel that these resources come through and get dispersed to our people.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. You are absolutely well on your way to do some greater things. We are almost at the close of the segment, and I think I'm gonna throw you a curveball. Okay. And normally I have all of my guests on the show, before we close the segment, I always have them leave with a word of inspiration or encouragement to the listening audience. But I would like for you to do a little freestyle and empower the fathers through a freestyle in any way that you choose. And that's how we'll wrap this interview.
Okay, so I'll throw a curveball to your curveball, or catch it and, throw another one. But, I definitely want to encourage people to be consistent. One of the things, that you, spoke about, just noticing from this conversation, like I'm a heavy believer in God. I have a lot of conversations with God, and I'm self-motivated, and all I need is God to wake me up, and I'm gonna handle the rest, So like, I have a huge, busy day. I have a crazy schedule. And one of the things that I do is I write down things to do. And every day, I'm gonna make a list of about 10 to 20 things to do. And, I'm knocking it off, every, hour. Within 5 hours, I'm making those calls, I'm making those texts, I'm not procrastinating. And so every month, I'm accomplishing, about 200 things off my things to do list or off my goals list, because every day I'm accomplishing 12, 15, 22 goals, 22 things to do. The next day I'm doing the same thing. And so if you have, goals, and you're trying to reach those goals, and if you actually, checking off the list, just imagine how closer you'll be to your goal in 3 months, 6 months, a year, if you knocking off 10 to 20 things every day. And, I'm always adding to the list. So that's how I be so consistent and so successful in everything, that I do, for the most part, because I'm always adding to the list. I'm scratching off, then I'm writing a new one. I'm writing an additional one. And, if you had 50 things on your list, and, for this week, and you accomplished 35 of them, and then you wrote another list of 50 goals, and you knock off 35 the next week, man, you'll be super closer to whatever your goal was. So I just wanted to share that with the people, man. Try to build that list and knock it off. And I have a record called Family Man, and I love to just hit y'all with a verse from that. So hop in the whip, man. The fam about to take a trip. I got my credit cards in a pocket full of grip. I got my wifey on my side and she looking right. Got the kids strapped in watching the Bugs live. My baby girl, she been waiting on this vacation. Lil Fizzle in the back on the PlayStation. Right hand on the wheel as I'm dipping out. MapQuest say I-10 to 59 South. I'm driving to the speed limit so I don't wreck. Successful 5, that's what's up, bumping in the deck. What's good? You already know it's Black Love, and my girl got me right, hit me with the back rub. My queen in the front, the kids in the back. God, our light, and we rocking like that. I'm about my family, whoa, yeah, I'm a family man. I'm about my family, whoa, yeah, I'm a family man. You heard me, yeah. Sess 45, 9th Ward, New Orleans, downtown. And I appreciate all the listeners, all the subscribers, everybody that's out there, the Sean Inspire. I appreciate my cousin, and I hold him up highly. Y'all be looking for big things from him in the future. And if y'all trying to reach me, y'all could definitely catch me online at Sess45, SESS45 on all your social media platforms. And if you ever in New Orleans, come visit us at the 7140 Diamond Road, Nothing But Fire Records, 1840 North Claiborne.
I salute you today, and I thank you for your time. I thank you for your spirit and for your energy and for every word of encouragement and inspiration that you have shared with the listening audience today. So I say to you before Father's Day come, happy Father's Day, and may you continue to rise, and may you continue to shine, and may you continue to be a general and a mighty force in this city. Thank you for tuning in to the Sean Inspires podcast. As always, I say to you, stay strong and stay inspired, but most importantly, do share the Sean Inspires podcast with your community. And to all the fathers out there, live well, be strong, and be a great example to your family and to your community. Until next time, bye now.